Okay, you guys, it is March 28th. Cannot believe it. Oh, my word. My Jayhawks lost this weekend. I'm very upset about that. So, those of you fellow basketball fans who maybe had your hearts broken recently, it's very upsetting. But, anyways, the show goes on. Okay, so we are at the tail end of the month, and this is when things can really get exciting. So I talked last week a little bit about making a decision, and we got to hear from Alyssa, who is not on tonight because she has that girl. Oh my goodness, she is motoring and she has an event tonight, and she's a busy lady because working hard to promote. So but I loved what Alyssa was talking about as far as having a shift, and really it's also about making a decision, your mentality. So I want to apologize that I did not get that uploaded. There's kind of a process that I have to go through in order to get these videos uploaded, and because of the crazy of moving, and then I didn't have internet and whatever. I will do that. So I now have my computer working, yay, and I do have internet, so I'll get that converted, and I'll post that as well as tonight. But tonight is about just focusing on finishing well, okay? And what does it look like to finish well? The thing about finishing well is keeping perspective, right? And understanding that healthy sense of urgency of knowing that what you do does make a difference. And I know I've said this recently, so I know I'm repeating myself, but there are so many things that you need to hear over and over again in Arbonne. And that is, there's never going to be something that isn't going to be better for you in the long run. Hold on just a moment. I'm getting interrupted. What? You can turn up. It's okay. Sorry. It's very highly professional, especially me in my workout gear and no shower. So, okay. Oh, I know. So I was thinking I said this on a call, but I maybe said this on a Discover Arbonne or something. So I apologize. I love hundreds of things about this business. And one of the things that I think is so fantastic is that as I was working towards building, I knew that nothing's wasted in this, okay? You're never, ever going to regret going all out for the end of the month, ever. That's the wonderful thing. There's not I should hedge my bets. I should save these orders. No. First of all, number one, do not hold orders. Do not hold orders. Here's the issue with holding orders is there's a whole mentality to this, okay? You're thinking there's only so much. I want to save it for later. There's a belief system issue with holding orders, okay? Because it's you're kind of saying, well, I'm only going to get so much, so I'm going to hold off, or this probably won't serve me now, so I'm going to play a game and I'm going to have it serve me later or whatever. It actually, it is really detrimental to your business. I am telling you, it is so detrimental to your business. Cecilia Stoll, who is the #1 income earner in Arbonne, and when she talks, I listen, because that lady has been so successful with 10 national vice presidents direct to her. You guys, she knows what she's talking about. And one of the first things that was grounded into me from starting my business was never, ever, 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 ever hold orders. First of all, it's a disservice to your customer, who we all expect things in 2.2 nanoseconds, right? Most people have Amazon Prime and you get it in 2 business days. When someone places an order, we need to get that in. Now, absolutely, there are life things that happen, some website issues, yada, whatever. I don't want you to get your panties in a wad if it's the next day, or there are things that happen, a credit card issue, we've had that, la, la, la. I get it. But just, being timely for your customers is really important. But secondly, and most importantly to me, is there's something going on in your belief system that has you thinking, well, I'll hold on to that for later, meaning that there's scarcity. Okay. I know that from good things come good things. And from work, like sowing your seeds, things grow. And I want you to trust that you're never going to be like, man, I wish I hadn't worked my business hard at the end of the month. Never. Because what happens at the end of the month is that you're also feeding into the next month, so which is April, as well as you're literally what you're doing here now in March. I want you to understand, in this business, it's kind of like a 90-day cycle of fruits of your labor starting to come to fruition. So Alyssa having a shift and working hard or whatever, she worked hard in November and December, and her January wasn't great, but she still was working. Like, she had a lot of things, like she said that she looked and she was like, oh my gosh, I don't have the calendar that I thought I was going to have or whatever. But she worked, but January's numbers didn't totally show up. What is happening now, she started working on 90 days ago. Okay. So don't hold orders, get them in the system. And as we are approaching close, you need to also make sure, there are sometimes people who have no concept of that you're on a monthly deal, and they don't necessarily need to always know that. I trust your judgment on how you communicate things to your clients, but you do need to let people know, like, hey, it actually makes a difference for me if we get it in before Thursday. Most people will be like, oh my gosh, Renee, I'm so sorry. I had no idea. I will totally get you my credit card information. I know I wanted that RE9 set. Like, if they knew that it makes a difference between Thursday and Friday, 99% of people would be like, oh my gosh, so get it. Like, I'm on it. So letting them know that, giving them the opportunity, and it's not pushing them to do something that they're not ready for, but sometimes people also need that added extra, like, okay, so here's the deal. I'm super close to something. I know we talked about you getting the nutrition package and getting on the nutrition, and my dogs are going crazy. I'm sorry. We're in this house. It's like, we're kind of in a fishbowl. We have no blinds, and they like bark at everything. So I'm sorry. Where was I? Oh, shoot. Oh, where was I? Sorry, that was totally distracting to me. I was talking about sometimes people need an extra added excuse to get their order in. And so giving them that opportunity is really important. And you're not forcing them to do something that they don't want to do. By the way, you can't. Like, I just want you to know that if somebody doesn't want to buy, they're not going to buy. Okay? So most of us, our number one concern is we don't want to be pushy, right? And this is not at all about being pushy. And I don't want anyone to be pushy, okay? Pushy is like, I know you don't really want this, but just do it anyway, and la la la. Like, no. This is being confident, and oh my goodness, I know you're going to love it. There's a 45-day guarantee. Your skin is never going to feel better than after using this for a week. I'm telling you. And if it's not, we're totally going to, exchange or get your money back, whatever. But it's standing in that place of being confident and being bold, right? There is something magnificent about boldness and asking for what you need. If you notice, our children, for those of us who have children, have no problems asking for what they need, nor do they have problems asking for like 1,000 times. Now, we're not going to ask 1,000 times, but it is so funny how over time we get it drummed into us how maybe asking is bad. Asking is not bad. In order to get what you want, you actually have to ask for it. People cannot read your mind. Even if you're saying, I've started this business, I'm really excited, I'd love for you to look at the products, blah, blah, blah. They're kind of like, oh, okay, whatever. Like, be specific. Say, I would love for you to be a client. I know you're really into your workout stuff. The Phytosport products, I've heard amazing things about them, and I'd love for you to give them a whirl and really try them out and let me know what you think. Because that's not, something of my expertise, or however you want to say it. But don't think that you're going to force someone to do something that they're not ready to do. But ask for the sale, be bold, be courageous, let people know that there's a time frame, okay? So it's picking up the phone, it's texting. Do not put out some spam email. That does not work at all. So save yourself the time of trying to craft something. Like, it doesn't work. Now, an email that's more personalized, maybe. But I say personal texting, personal phone calls are by far the best. Or Facebook personal message, not a big Facebook post. Don't do that. Don't put some big like, hey, I'm going for a promotion if anybody wants something. Oh my gosh, everybody's going to be like, so, like, I don't ever want to do that business if that's what she has to do. Like, you don't have to do that, but you do have to be willing and open to reaching out to people individually. Okay. And we're going to get those puppies in the system, and we're going to get it in early in the day, if at all possible. If you have an order now, get it in. Please get it in. They even sent an email. Did you all get the email about how to, from Guy, the technology guy, about how to ensure a peaceful close, or however they said it. The problem is, I get it. Like, we work till, we have a life outside of Arbonne, right? I totally get it. We have jobs, we have things going on or whatever, and we just kind of stockpile the orders. Try to be disciplined and get some stuff in each night, if that's what it takes, and just as early as possible. Block off some time. Do yourself a favor. Close night is really fun and exciting. It's a great night if you have a spouse and kids for it to be a dad-kid night, and they go to dinner somewhere while mom puts in the orders, or, vice versa. Who's ever working the business, because men totally do this business too. Maybe it's easier for you to get a babysitter for a few hours or whatever. I'm not saying that you have to do that. I'm just saying, think through what your life looks like and what's going to make it the most successful for you and the least painful for you as well as your family. I learned this the hard way because I always thought in the beginning that I could do everything. I was going to be June Cleaver and total powerhouse working at Pfizer, plus building my Arbonne business, plus, literally, we think that, right? And it made me a little bit more crazy than I think I needed to. And it would have been worth the $30 to get a babysitter. Or does that make sense? Like for my mental and emotional sanity. Now, I get finances, whatever, but I'm just saying, think this through, plan ahead. Make sure your computer's charged, your cell phone's charged on close day, have your charger with you. Just be smart. Instead of leaving yourself up to the last minute frenzy of oh gosh, blah, whatever, which is also very fun, but we don't want it to be stressful. We want it to be fun and exciting, not oh my gosh, I can't get this order in and whatever. Okay, so that's rule number 1, don't hold orders. Second thing is, decide right now, between now and midnight on Thursday, where are you going to be? What's the number? I don't care what, it doesn't matter what your beginning of the month goals were. Not that it doesn't matter, but I want you to really, I want you to think through, okay, I have 3 full days left, full days. What am I going to do? Do you have any preferred clients that have rewards that they have not utilized? Make sure making a personal phone call, because people don't do that as often anymore. We text, but doing both, but making a personal phone call saying, hey, Nancy, I just did not want you to miss out. You have some preferred client rewards. I know everybody's looking at tuning up before swimsuit season. And I don't know if you've ever heard of our nutrition program, but if you're interested, I'd love to shoot you a video. We have the most amazing nutrition products. I'm so glad that you're loving the RE9. just wanted you to know about all that Arbonne has to offer. And I want to make sure that you maximize your membership. That phrase, maximizing your membership, is a key phrase. I got that from Linda Parker years ago. It's one of my favorite things to say. Because this is about bringing value to them. Like I want my clients to absolutely stink and fall in love with Arbonne. And if I don't help them and educate them here and there, they're not going to understand all of the things that they can get. Okay. So, I'm going to mute. Hold on. Some people just in case. Okay. There. So that's the next thing is look through who needs something, following up with people of interest, following up with hostesses and saying, hey, I know, thank you again so much for like the amazing event. I know we talked about so-and-so and so-and-so wasn't able to come, just kind of wanted to circle back. Like if you weren't able to get their name and number or whatever, like you never know what can come out of circling back to hostesses, especially if it was earlier on in the month because they've gotten their goodies, they're excited, there may be some other things, and they might be like, oh my gosh, I was talking to my friend Janet and she needs, she was admiring my skin or whatever. You just never really know what will happen. So you just call to thank them again and just say, I just want to, make sure I'm doing my due diligence of following up. And if you had anyone that came to mind as far as would also like the products, I could send them a quick message. And there's a little bit of a special going on for the last couple days of the month. So if you want to run a special, and that would of course be your own special, not necessarily Arbonne special, but things that I've done before is if I'm close to my DM bonus, and for your district manager bonus, you have to have $5,000 in your central district and 5 new $150 or more preferred clients. What that means is 5 new preferred clients that have a $150 order or more. So there were times where I'm like, oh my gosh, I need 2 more because, whatever, I needed 2 more. So because consultants also don't count as a new PC. So anyways, and I would say, this is your lucky day. I am giving away, just a few free memberships at the end of the month special, but you have to order by and these are the parameters. And people are like, oh my gosh. So it would be like $20 on my credit card that I'd add to the order to cover their preferred client membership. But you can do little things like that depending on how important it is to you, what you have going on or whatever. It's a business decision, okay? It's not something that you absolutely have to do, but it definitely comes in handy at certain times. Okay. What else? So I do think the nutrition is huge right now. Lots of people are doing spring cleaning in their insides. And we do have the April group starting. So there is that Lynn Puana clean eating video that I have that I'm pretty sure most of you have gotten via email from me before. If you are new on my team and you do not have that email, your sponsor or your upline, district manager or area manager, probably has it. So ask them for it. If not, email me. I will send it to you. Okay. But it's like an 11-minute and then there's an 18-minute explanation of the program. It's phenomenal. Okay. So you're going to be watching your numbers and you're going to be finally minding your mind. Like, this is so when it happens. This is so when you're like, it's happening, it's happening, it's happening. And I will tell you, most of the time, the majority of the time, it's been a very rare moment when I've known exactly how the numbers are going to float in. And it's all lining up and the stars are all aligned. Like, guess what? That's not reality. Typically at this point, it's like, okay, I got a little bit here. I have this event. I have this one with one. I've dropped this stuff off. Okay. I'm, just kind of like putting it out there. Like, I'm making it. I don't really know how. Okay. And you go for it and you believe it and you go for it and it will pull together. Okay. And whatever you do is going to push you into April with better stuff happening in April. Okay. So don't hold back. Do not hold back. Do not. My final thing that I want to talk about is signing up business builders at the end of the month. So there can be a mentality of, well, it's the end of the month. I should probably wait until Friday to get them signed up because I want to give them enough time to get going and get to district, at least get to like 2,500, if not 3,000 in order to promote to district. Okay, you guys, you literally are killing your business before it even starts if you don't let people sign up when they've decided they want to do this business. There is something so critical about getting going when you've made the mental decision, regardless of the calendar month, okay? And I will tell you this, if you do the right activity, you do promote within 2 to 3 months. You really do. Where you don't promote is when you sign someone up and you're all excited and they sign up with like, a small order and you don't get things together for them and then they do maybe they do 1 or 2 personal presentations and maybe one was okay and one really was a flop or whatever. And then you're like, oh, yay, you are at 1,000. And that is so exciting because you're in qualification for district manager. And then they're like, awesome, but what does it take to get to district manager? And I'm like, well, if you want to complete next month, it would be 5,000. Well, you guys, 5,000 is a lot to do on your own unless you have someone start with you. And there are people who are on this right now that have done this. So don't worry. I did 6,000 in 1 month. So don't worry. But I'm just saying, if you have someone who is telling you they're interested in doing this business, you need to get them started. And it's not about you and your volume and making your goals. So I want to make that very clear. This is about you helping someone start their business right and not having a mentality of, well, I need the whole month. Well, because here's what happens, and I've seen it. So people start holding off in the last 3 days of the month. And then it becomes the whole last week of the month. And then if it's anywhere past the 15th, nobody's getting started because they're getting started next month. And the problem is that making a decision to do this is typically so out of someone's comfort zone. I know I was absolutely terrified. Okay. I was so scared to put myself out there. And if you put time in between this, like, okay, you're right, I'm doing this. This is a little crazy, but this is absolutely what I want. And I know I'm going to have help and training, supporting, whatever. And then you put 48 hours, 72 hours, a week or whatever. What happens immediately after you making your decision is you start, the rational side of you, the non-successful side is like, well, what are you thinking? Why do you think you could be doing that? Whatever. Like you literally talk yourself out of it. And that person has decided what they want to go for, right? They've decided their dreams and their desires. Who are you to stand in the way of that? It doesn't matter if someone puts in a $500 startup order and they don't get into qualification their first month. They get into qualification their second month. You guys, it doesn't matter. What matters is getting them signed up as a consultant. Like, okay, we're doing this. We're going, okay? And we're going to work to get you there as quickly as possible. It's not a hedging bets and being like, well, let's wait for your order to count. Like, please don't do that. And I know I'm saying this from experience because I've been there and I've done it both ways. I have done my business both ways. And I will tell you what has always served me best is listening to Cecilia Stoll and Deanna Herron, who have always preached, get them going. Get them going, get them going, get them going. Last day of the month, get them signed up. Because it's not about the calendar. It's about getting them started on their path and setting them up for success. Because if they think they need 30 days to get to 2,500 or 2,000 or, at a minimum 1,500 for strong start, like they're never going to get off the ground. They're never going to think, like they may not ever promote to district manager is the bad thing. I always tell someone if they're really like, I don't want to get started until the first of the month and whatever, and I try to explain it, and they're like, no. And I'm like, you know what? I get it. That's fine. I can already tell there might be a coachability issue, but I say, so here's the deal. If we start on Friday, your goal for April is 6,000. Because I know it's possible and I know you can do it. If you really work for 30 days, you could get to 6. So at a minimum, you're going to hit 3 and we're going for 6. Okay. Because I know how this business works, and I know it's more about starting you on the path of talking to people. Okay. Than making sure your order counts towards promoting. We always like for that to happen, but you know what? If it doesn't, so what? That doesn't mean a thing. I can't tell you how many VPs there are who, put in a startup order and then they went into qual the next month. Okay. So it's not the death knell. And I feel like it's so important because we are on fire right now. It's so fun. So fun. And you, I just don't want you to be hedging bets and to be setting people up with the wrong mentality of what they need in order to get started and how long it takes or whatever. This is I know I've been hammering this home, and I'm sorry, and I'm really preachy tonight, but this is so important because this is what ignites the fire and gets the momentum going, and where you're like, holy cow, this is so exciting. And people are actually, they're going places and they're achieving, their dreams, and we're handing out keys to our white Mercedes. So don't pull back. These next 3 days, go full throttle. Even if you're like, I'm not up for a promotion. I'm not going to make a bonus. I get it. I still want you to give it what you can give it, your all. And that doesn't mean 100% of your time. It means your effort with your life and what you carve out, right? What you know is possible. Because if you do, you will never regret it. And you will be so glad setting yourself up for April. You guys, GTC is going to be amazing. I'm running out of time. I'm sorry. And my final thing about GTC is that I'll talk a lot more about it next week. Get you guys some details, but I want you to get crazy excited. I cannot wait for the product launch. Cannot wait. People have been trying to get it out of me, and I've held strong. For those of you, I did hear a rumor floating around that some people think that there's a big change to the RE9, and so we shouldn't be ordering RE9 sets. That is not true. Not true. Not true. So order away, you guys. Order away, because the RE9, the nutrition, there's the stuff that's coming is there's new stuff. So, and a big thing that we have never had before, ever had. Totally new. It's so crazy. Okay. Anyways, so GTC is going to be amazing. We're going to have some great time together as a team. We're going to do the dinner in my room like we normally do, but I'll give all of the information. But here's what I need from you guys is this is the last part of March to Promotion. Some of you guys got your points to me yesterday. It's okay if you haven't done that yet or whatever, but here's the deal. I have to have your points by Friday. Okay. Let's say end of day Friday, just because I know I want you to be focused on closing, but then on Friday, make sure you get me your points, because I do want to be able to announce on Monday's call the winners, okay, and what you guys are winning, okay? So remember, last time I said I was going to post the requirements and stuff. I'm going to do that as soon as I sign off. I got to find my phone. I'll do that before I put my kids to bed. But okay. So March to promotion. Remember, at the end of April, there is a very special, special training and stuff that we are doing at the end of April. So you want to make sure to earn that with doing your 10 activities. You have enough time to get yourself to 10 by the end of this month. You have 3 days. Everything counts. Except for a sample drop-off, I think. And what else? I think that's it. Do any of you have any questions? No? It was just that great. I know there's only a few of us on. I think a lot of people, which I'm super excited, a lot of people had events, which is awesome. Sorry for getting a little preachy. I think you guys are fabulous. Terry, do you have something to say?
No.
Oh, I love you. I love seeing your face. Love it. Renee, so good to see you. Kathy, you've blocked out your iPad, but I love you too. And you guys just make it a great week, and just be bold. Remember, boldness literally creates magic. And when you have that moment of inspiration, remember I told you about the shower and the positive ions, and you have a crazy idea in the shower tomorrow and you're like, oh, should I call that person? I don't know. I don't know if they need Arbonne. Yes, call that person. There is a reason. I've never regretted calling someone. I've only regretted no. In 11 years, it's really true. Never ever have I regretted calling. I have regretted not. So, love you guys. Have an awesome close. And we'll talk to you on Monday, okay? Bye.
Bye.